The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed on the Canna Connect Show belong solely to the individuals and do not reflect those of Canna Connect and its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. Canna Connect does not promote or facilitate any activity that violates state or federal regulations. Everything you hear here is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not legal advice, it is not financial guidance, and it's definitely not medical direction. Seriously, don't take our word for it. Even if someone on the mic sounds like they know what they're talking about, and they're probably crazy smart too. Regardless of how legit our guests may be, you should always do your own homework, consult with your attorney, and understand the risk you're taking before you do anything when it comes to cannabis. Our intention is to keep it real. If you've got a problem with anything we've said, take us to court.
Welcome back to the Canna Connect Show, day 2, live from Lucky Leaf. Today we are sitting down with Teresa Sorensen, owner of Unwind. How did you end up with this name? How did it become Unwind?
Unwind, I was trying to find a word that what it makes you feel like. Yeah. So we came with unwind is, you're not getting drunk, you're just unwinding. Yeah. Is what our concept.
Right. That makes sense. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really know, myself included, as much about your banking background. When did you retire? And how long were you retired before you were on to the next thing?
So I've been in banking for 33 years, and I bought a liquor store. And that was kind of the thing. Maybe when I retire, I'll just work at the liquor store.
That you owned?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my objective. Well, after that, I retired.
What year did you buy a liquor store?
21.
Yep. Okay.
And then a year or so later, Unwind was formed.
Okay.
By accident.
Right.
And then I quit the bank, and then I went to work for someone else for 2 years.
So you did?
Yep. And then the stores were so busy that I quit any other jobs and just started focusing on the stores.
At some point, you must have started to bring in the hemp THC beverages.
Yes. So the liquor store brought it in first when it first came out in July. So I got some stuff from someone in the cities, and I sold out so fast.
And were you self-distroing at the time? Were you picking it up, or were they delivering it?
No, I was picking it up.
You were driving into the metro to get product, bringing it back to Moorhead, putting it on your shelf, because all you needed was a liquor license to sell the product, if you even needed that at the time.
So it went so fast. Well, then a month later, the state goes, liquor stores can't carry it.
Liquor stores can't carry it. That's right.
1 month later, and I'm going, there's obviously a need here, because we actually have people come in the liquor store going, my counselor sent me here to pick up THC drinks.
Wow.
Because they were quit drinking.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I need to open up a store. So I found a place to open up a store. In a couple months, we had Unwind formed and opened up with THC drinks.
So it was almost a reaction to the rules from the state that you can't sell hemp gummies and hemp drinks inside the liquor store. You have to sell them outside of the liquor store.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to find a way to create a hemp retail store. And that's essentially what birthed Unwind?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
By accident, because of the state. So.
Right. Which was short-lived.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember how short-lived that was.
It was like 5-6 months later.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, now I'm stuck in a lease. I've, furnished up the whole store, bought product. And I was like, well, do I close this and just bring everything back to the liquor store? And everybody that I was talking to, no, just give it time. And
interesting.
We started being the store where people could get different products.
Yep. In the Moorhead area.
Yep. And then our staff was very educational.
Right.
Because a lot of people are coming in going, I hear I'm supposed to use this stuff, but I don't know anything about it.
And what do you say to folks like that when they're pointed in the right direction, but they don't necessarily have the nose for it?
Right. I think the best thing to say is, how I describe it is doctors don't give you a prescription for alcohol, but they'll give you one for cannabis. So obviously it helps with a variety of things depending on what you need.
Right. What's inside, what's going on.
because everybody's chemistry is different. So it doesn't mean that one thing's going to work for one person is going to work for another.
Right. And when you think back to that product mix and how much it's changed over the last 4 or 5, 6 years, salves, like topicals, gummies, drinks, like what were some of those early bestsellers, or where did folks gravitate to in the early days with Unwind?
Mainly drinks.
Mainly drinks.
Yep.
Because you got in during the drink boom.
Yes, everybody had drinks, and then the gummies came, and then, I mean, I've got caramels, I got pretzels, I got popcorn. I mean, I've got all that stuff.
And I have to say, you figured out, and Unwind figured out early on that if I'm really going to make money in this industry, I need to be vertically integrated. I can't just be buying someone else's brand and putting it on the shelf. The margin is only so large there. You figured out pretty early on that you wanted to develop Unwind products and create really good products. And that's what stood out to me at Garrison Hemp Fest was the ratios of the gummies that you made. So they weren't just THC gummies. You had CBD and CBG and CBN. Talk about how you figured out the formulations and like found good partners in the production space.
So talking to the staff, I mean, people were coming in going, do you have CBN? Do you have CBG? And all these. And a lot of these people were stuck on a budget that can't afford the $25 a
case. Not even a case, a pack.
Yes.
Right.
And so we decided, well, let's do our own.
Yeah.
And put the price at half.
It's more cost effective for the consumer and the retailer.
So the people that can't afford the $25, they can afford $12 to $15. And then they get the relief they need without hurting their pocket too bad.
Because they're better products at the end of the day. You get more out of it when you have more cannabinoids in it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And, I'm glad you brought that up because I really believe in the Minnesota consumer. I believe that they're more educated around minor cannabinoids because the rollout has been so slow. So from the early days of CBD to the early days of Delta 8 to CBG and CBN and CBG flower and on and on and on. So like because we've been taken so long to get to where we are, the consumer has had an opportunity to try a lot of different products. There's been a lot of brands that have come and gone.
Yes.
And maybe that's a good place to transition to when you realize that hemp shop is not my ultimate destination. I want to actually get to the adult use market as well. So 21, 22, we legalized cannabis as a state in 23. Did the wheels start turning? Hey, maybe that's the next step for me?
Yes. We saw a great need and the store just kept getting busier and people were coming in and going, you have a great selection. Your staff is so knowledgeable. It was really nice to hear. I had so many older people come to me and going, I love your store. It has helped me so much.
How rewarding is that?
I know. And even cancer patients have come up to me and gone, thank you for your store. And I'm like, wow, we're doing a service for people. It's not all about getting high. It's what it can help you naturally.
That's right. How you can help them unwind.
Yes.
Okay, so at some point you bought the building.
Yes. So I bought the building 2 years ago on a contract for deed because they were selling it.
Okay.
And they weren't getting any offers.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, well, if I'm going to turn it into a cannabis store, I don't want my landlord telling me what to do.
No, you're right.
Or have the tenants saying, well, they don't want me. So I decided to purchase the building so that I would have a say on what takes place with my business.
Yeah. And so I've yet to come up to Unwind, but is the liquor store and the hemp shop, is it in the same strip mall?
No.
Okay, they're different. They're in different.
The one is north of the interstate and one is south of the interstate.
Great.
So they're not very far apart, but they're not in the same building.
I see. And so with respect to the adult use hemp shop, you've transitioned. You've been doing a remodel of sorts, and now you're pretty much set up for dispensary. Is that right?
Yes. We did the remodel. It took about 6 months.
Okay.
We got licensed through the OCM now, so we are a dispensary.
Okay, great.
We just don't have any flower yet, but hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon, yep. And what has it been like? I was talking to Jonathan off camera a little earlier. This isn't a brand that I talk about often, but I want to talk about them a little more. What has it been like working with FlowHub?
I like FlowHub.
People seem to like FlowHub.
Yes. Very, very friendly. It's easy to get around and get reports. Yeah, I find it very...
It feels like an adaptable software.
Yes.
Okay.
And we looked at other ones were a little more complicated.
Yeah.
And I think keeping things simple
Yep.
is a lot easier for staff and myself to maneuver in.
Right. Especially at the point of sale, at the touch point of where the retail transaction takes place.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be overly complicated for your staff. I hear FlowHub advertise that they can do staff training in one day. That's one of the selling points that they have. So that's been good. What else has been good or a solid learning versus like a drag, when it comes to the recreational cannabis, obviously the licensing process, the compliance aspects, all this stuff. What are some of the bright spots along the way as you've been getting closer to selling flower in your store?
I think just keeping up on it and learning things and having the staff all part of it has been so amazing. I can't ask for a better staff that helps me out.
Great.
Everybody has their specialty.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the store so good.
Wow.
Is because everybody does their part very well.
Yes. And I've been impressed. I've seen your team grow over the last 2 years now at least. And we certainly appreciate your support. Your support has helped power Canna Connect in more than one way. You've been willing to come down from Moorhead to Brainerd to St. Paul to Minneapolis. And one thing that I want to give back to you, and I know we have some work to do, but I would like to throw an event in Moorhead the last weekend in August, right before Labor Day, right as the MSU kids come back to school. I think we should do something in Moorhead this year.
I agree. It would be fun to have an event in Moorhead.
Yeah. Education, vendor booths. There's so many businesses like yours that are set up in greater Minnesota. And not every licensee wants to come down to the cities for a 2-day conference like Lucky Leaf or CannaCon or for NECAN. And, I really want to give you kudos for bringing your team down to Lucky Leaf, participating even during a challenging time where you're still getting onboarded with the product selection that you want to have. You're seeking out more flower. It is coming. It's going to take time, week by week, month by month, quarter by quarter. And I really think you're putting in the work, and I want to give you your kudos for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I do.
And I just feel you can't stop learning, because if you stop learning, you're going to be stale.
Yeah.
And in this market, you can't be. It's revolving all the time.
And Moorhead is a competitive marketplace.
It is.
You have independent cannabis operators. You have tribal cannabis operators. You have now medical cannabis operators. I would love to get up there. I would love to platform Unwind and find a way for us to really bring the community together, but make it worth your while as well.
Oh, that'd be great. Yes.
You heard it here first on the Canna Connect Show. We are coming to Moorhead summer 2026. Thanks to everybody but watching. Teresa, if folks want to get in touch, if they want to buy from Unwind, where's the best place to send them?
You can send it to our website,
Yeah.
unwinddispensary.com.
Perfect.
And you can order online.
Yes.
But you have to pick it up.
Okay.
We don't ship.
Okay. Got it.
But yes, and we are also getting into cultivation and manufacturing.
Oh, yep.
So that's coming also. So keep in touch with us.
Great. Yes. If you're interested in working with Unwind, reach out to unwinddispensary.com. There's a great team there. Teresa is their leader, but beyond that, they've got a solid footing. We'll see you next time on the Canna Connect Show.